And we're back with the next round from Big Sunday Legacy at Magic Corner Vienna. And I've got Michi to my right here, sitting here, and to the left on the stream here, because he's playing himself against Peter Lobotka.
Yes, thank you, Walter, for introducing me. I'm playing TESS, if you know what that means. It's the Epic Storm. There's also a website for it. I think it's theepicstorm.com, where I get all my sideboard guides. Pretty nice site. Not mine, but if you want to play TESS, check it out for sure. And I'm playing here against Peter Lobotka. He's playing Grixis Delva. Yes, he's playing Grixis Delva. And I gotta say, not the matchup I want to play. So I have to really play carefully, weigh my decisions, think what he might be up to, and strategically play my way through the game and try to somehow win the match.
Yeah, the thing is here with like TESS and other Storm builds, TESS is the creation by the one Brian Cook, the creator of the aforementioned website mentioned by Michi. The difference between TESS and ENG, the other popular Storm build in Legacy, is that TESS plays red cards, Rider Flames mostly, and it more often relies on empty the warrants to win its games compared to ENG ad nauseam Tendrils, which, as its namesake says, relies on Tendrils more often. And generally, these decks don't really like to play against decks like Grixis Delver because they disruptive blue decks that have counter spells, that have a pretty fast clock, land disruption, wastelands against your 3-color Grixis deck. All of those things combined seem pretty annoying to me.
Yeah, so basically the important thing in this matchup is, for me with TESS, if I'm able to search for my basic lands. I'm playing one basic island and one basic swamp. And I should, if it's possible, fetch or naturally draw into them to have enough mana to go off later on. Yes, we are drawing both 7 cards. I do not remember if I'm keeping it, but we will see soon enough.
Do you remember who won the die roll? Are you on the play or is Peter on the play here?
I'm not quite sure. I think
okay,
Peter is on the play, yes.
Let us be surprised here. It looks like Peter is on the play because he's considering. He leads here with Underground Sea Delver. So already some pressure on turn 1 here. We see if this Delver is going to flip here. While we see you fetching here. So
yes.
What are you considering here with the Bloodstained Mire? What are the possible targets?
Well, the possible targets are Underground Sea, Volcanic Island, or Badlands, but actually I was thinking, okay, I should not play the Bloodstained Mire, and I played it. I think I have another better hand in
because
play.
You wanted to get the basic island, because that's the only land you can't get with the Mire, right?
No, I did not want to fetch at all. I wanted to play my land, because now I'm fetching for a blue source, and I think next turn we will see Wasteland.
So you're opening
from
up
Peter's side, yes.
So you're casting a spell here,
yes.
And you think it would have been better to just not cast the spell and wait?
No. I think I could have played the Turus.
You could have played a dual land from your hand.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Sure.
I thought of it, and then I played the fetch land and was like, dang. Now we see Peter tasting my Turus, and yeah, he's lucky. And
those Delvers always flip, and the Spell Pierce is also really annoying. Like all of those tax encounters. So we see the Wasteland here. So this is basically the most horrible start for you here. You're getting beat down by 3 a turn, you have no lands in play, and you know that your opponent at least has a Spell Pierce. So what is your plan in those situations? What's this important if the start of the game doesn't go that well for you with TESS in these matchups?
To somehow disrupt the opponent, get enough mana, and try to go off. And
so finding more discard spells?
Finding more discard spells, or trying to combo off more often. It really depends. But one very important thing in this matchup is not make mistakes. And as you see, I just made a big mistake and therefore lost my land.
Yeah, because this is a bad match. Here we saw you casting Probe, seeing that Peter does not only just have that Spell Pierce, he also has access to a copy of Brainstorm and a copy of Vendilion Click.
Now I think we might see Couple Therapy from my side.
And so the thing is here,
Yes.
because this is, yeah.
No, the thing here is actually I did not remember if I drew a card, and actually I did not watch the video. Currently, I was looking at my commentator Walter. So yeah, did you see if I drew the card? Because we were discussing this, and I think we came to the conclusion that
really look at it, but generally
drew the card.
That early in the game, it's
really
easy to re-engineer the game state by just counting the cards. So this is interesting. We have to count the cards here. So we know, Michi, you were on the draw. So you should have drawn 2 cards for your turns right now. One on turn 1, one on turn 2, because it is your main phase on turn 2 where you're casting the probe, and then we have to figure out if you drew a card from the probe. So you should have with, yeah, okay. So you did not draw a card, you drew a card now of the probe, that gets figured out. And we see what you do with your turn now. But like what you were saying before with tight play, this is in Legacy, if those, especially if those matchups, they unforgiving these matchups, because Grixis Delver is attacking you from so many different angles if you're on a combo deck with the aforementioned things. So this is really annoying because it's not just the counter spells, just the clock, or just the land disruption. It's all of them at once.
And lower on life total I get, the less likely I am to cast Ad Nauseam for good. Yes.
Which is not as important in your list than it is in ENG, but it's still one of the possible avenues to victory.
No, actually it's quite important in my list. Sorry, Walter, to interrupt you.
The Past in Flames is less important in your list.
Yes, the Past in Flames is less important in my list. I'm, with Tess, you're not too much relying on your graveyard. With Ant, you're relying a lot on your graveyard, and you play Past in Flames, cast everything again. With Test, you can go off Ad Nauseam and you just reveal Chromox, LEDs, get how are the things called? I forgot the name. The petals, yes.
Lotus petals. Okay,
yes, Lotus
sure.
petals.
So you're not even playing a main deck Past in Flames, right? You're just playing one as a Burning Wish target in the sideboard?
Yes, but I'm also playing only playing 1 Tendrils as a Burning Wish target, and 1 Empty the Warrens main, and another Empty the Warrens in the sideboard.
While if we compare it to ENG only plays Empty in the sideboard, sometimes 1 main, not that often, and they always play Tendrils main with sometimes more Tendrils in the board, which is called the Grinding Station plan, which was very popular against Miracles.
So we see Cabal Therapy. I chose, of course, the Brainstorm, and furthermore try to play around the 2 disruptive spells with the clicker not being cast soon.
Yeah, and at some point you might be able to play through the Spell Pierce. It's annoying, but yes, I agree that it's less annoying than the Brainstorm here.
Maybe I even have a 3rd disruptive spell, I can't really remember, but life is slowly but clearly ticking down. Yeah,
you're on a 4-turn clock here with the Delver. Obviously, Grixis Delver also access to 4 Lightning Bolts, so that might shorten the clock by 1 turn as well.
Yes.
We see you playing here Volcanic and considering your place.
Yes, I think I was thinking about playing Brainstorm now, or maybe a Bonder, but I'm not quite sure.
And you don't want to get that
maybe a
countered
Cadexian Probe.
Because Brainstorm sort of ponders, I think if I were Peter, I would snap off the Spell Pierce immediately, simply because the Spell Pierce might not do something here, and we see another Wasteland on the Badlands.
Yeah, so pretty good on mana denial, my opponent here. And I'm trying to somehow find a solution to the situation, but usually the situations are really bad, and most likely you won't be able to win.
Here we see you go for the end of turn Brainstorm.
Yes.
I think you would have preferred to have this countered, right? But your opponent doesn't even fall for the bait.
Yes. I would have preferred this being countered and
further spells not being spell pierced.
Yeah, I'm currently looking for some options to go off, to find another disruptive spell like Cabal Therapy or Tourist to get rid of his Spell Pierce, and somehow more mana sources. Yeah, and I think I found an island there. Yeah, this would have been really good earlier, and now we see a banner from my side, and I think I'm currently looking for a swamp or other sources of... No, okay, there's only a swamp left for black mana.
So what we see here is that Peter was considering the spell pierce, but him not countering probably tells us that he does not have much else in terms of disruption, with the Vendilion Clique costing 3 mana and him missing land drops here. So he's probably really reserving the spell pierce for rituals.
No, he did not miss land traps. He was playing Wastelands.
Sorry, he wasn't missing any land drops. He was playing the second Wasteland. He had 2.
Yes.
But no, because he was dazing, that's right, because you are ahead on lands, even though, because the Wastelands are symmetrically, the Wastelands,
and
you
lose
lose
the
land too,
Volcanic Island, and I'm going down to 5 life, so another brainstorm from my side.
Yeah, and he's basically, all he has to do now is he doesn't care for those brainstorms, because once you cast a Dark Ritual, let's say you go Black Source Dark Ritual, his spell pierces, you have to use 2 additional mana, which I assume makes it very hard to go off then. So this is tight play by Peter. He doesn't care for those because of the clock. If he didn't have the clock, he might consider spell piercing those spells, but in this situation he's killing you in 2 turns anyway. He just has to not lose in those 2 turns.
Not only because of the clock he can play like this, but because of the mana denial he had, because currently I need to find a fetch land which can get me a swamp, or I try to get off with Lotus Petals and Lion's Eye Diamond.
So you're only playing 1 each of the duels?
Yes.
Okay.
1 of each duel.
Is that due to budget concerns, or is that the accepted list? Just out of interest.
No, this is not due to budget concerns. I could have played more. But this list is only playing 1 of them, because usually this is enough. It's just
because Storm doesn't play a lot of lands altogether, so you just don't really have space, and you need a large amount of fetch lands to get your colors, and also to have the brainstorms be stronger and whatever.
Now we see I'm not in a good situation, because
Scalding Tarn can't get basics on.
Nope. Actually can't get anything from a library. Maybe you even see me fetching and finding nothing.
And you're down to 2 here off that Lightning attack.
Range.
And just a pass, you're drawing here, and then you will get draw step. Vendilion Clique, I assume. This seems to be like, just wait a sec here, I want you to do something. We see Peter resolving a fetch, get another copy of Volcanic Island, and we see if you're conceding in response to Vendilion Clique, show him in your hand.
No, I'm showing him.
Okay, you're showing the hand so we can see what you have access to here. It's not a bad hand, but you just don't have the black source at all.
No, not really. But I have a bundle left.
So if you had a black source here, you could make something happen here.
Yes.
Right. So if you have, let's just say the Scalding Tarn were black source, you would play Dark Ritual. Let's just say your opponent still had the spell pierce, you could pay. Then you were up to 3 mana, second ritual up to 5. Have 3 black of the LEDs, 8. Then you have 6 left over, so you would have after playing the Burning Wish, you have 6 mana. Like you could ad nauseum, which obviously due to life total is annoying. But mana wise, you would be fine if you actually had access to the basic swamp, or if you would have peeled it off the top here.
I'm not quite sure if I could get enough spell counts, but black mana source would have been great.
Because that would have also just allowed you to go for the Past in Flames here. Yes. So you had 6 go down to 2, so you have enough access. You still have more red sources. So I think you could have just gone. The thing is, you still would have needed to find a Tendrils, because Burning Wish exiles itself on resolution, so there's no Past in Flames in a Burning Wish. Wizards knew what they were doing here. You can do some broken things in Legacy, but you can't do every single broken thing.
What you see here is me thinking. I'm currently counting the mana I have available, and my opponent Peter is telling me that I'm short a few mana, but because I don't play this deck very often, I should play it more often, because Legacy is a nice format and I really like to play Tess. I try to double check everything, and you will most likely see me saying, yes, I'm short of mana, and yeah.
And Peter is very, very competitive and frequent legacy player from Slovakia who actually came over to Vienna for this big Sunday Modern with a couple of other Slovakian legacy players, and he knows what he's doing. He's been playing legacy for a long time, and
yeah. He's a pretty good player.
And now you're fetching here. Now we will see. Maybe we'll have Peter getting out some storm things, and now you're like, I don't have anything left to fetch.
Yes, I'm quite sure I don't have anything, but better be safe.
Yeah, of course. There's no point. Like, why concede earlier here? There's no point. You know, it's better this way round than you're like, oh, I don't have anything left, and then you're like, oh, I put the second underground sea into my deck in the morning, and then I forgot about it.
Yeah, we will see. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing left.
Nothing
left. Yeah, and now you have a storm count of 1 here.
Yes.
We see a slight chuckle from your opponent here.
Yeah. We do see that.
And we probably will not see much else in this game. You're looking at the
I'm not quite sure why I still kept shuffling my library, but maybe it's because I have the Lotus Battle, which will provide me with 1 black.
Yeah, you can cast all the rituals here.
I think now it's the time where Peter says, you're short of a few mana, and so on. And now I cast the second ritual, everything goes up. Forgot to put that into the grave.
Yeah, now you will be able to cast the Burning Wish in response, crack the LED, getting you 3 additional mana. And then we see what you will be able to get. The thing is here, obviously, Empty the Horizons doesn't do anything because there's 2 lethal flyers on the board, you're on 1 life. You could get the Tendrils, and you could Tendrils your opponent here, which would leave you with nothing. You can't even do that. I think you could do that, but it would not do much.
It would not do anything.
You would be up. Oh, it's an Infernal Tutor, not a Burning Wish here, so that means you can't even get the Tendril because of what you said before, is you don't play Tendrils main.
Yes.
So that sucks. Otherwise, all the Tendrils would basically do is put you up to like around 12 life, put your opponent down to 7 life, and have you die 2 turns later because you have nothing left to work with.
Yeah. Kind of the situation I'm in. I already lost the game. I'm just looking at my cards. Actually, in this moment, I was still thinking if there is any solution for this situation. My opponent, you see, Peter checking my graveyard, me thinking, him telling me, nah, not enough mana, because he's a very good legacy player. He already knows that I'm missing something, and I'm just double checking everything, and you will see me scooping up the game sooner or later.
Do you remember what cards you were actually considering here as possible outs?
Maybe Burning Wish into Bastion Flames or something like this.
So those are all possibilities, but that's just the issue of the
currently don't
mana.
see how or
You're at, if I'm not wrong, you're at 3 red and 3 black.
Yes.
Which would even allow you to do the Burning Wish for Tendrils here with a storm count of 8, putting your opponent down to 3, you up to 17, and then you have nothing left.
I'm not quite sure if that was possible, but might have been. But yeah, would have had nothing left and would have lost instead.
Yeah, here we see 2 black mana and 2 red mana, so we see. And the storm count of 7, so Tendrils would be 8th spell here.
Yes.
Those things, those are correct. But the thing is, it looks on the surface level look good for you then, but you're still on a 4-turn clock right now. And Storm is a resource-based combo deck.
I just remembered what I was looking for. I was checking if I could do Infernal Tutor, and then going for Burning Wish, but I...
So you're going for the Past in Flames. So with the Past in Flames, you would be left with 1 black, which means you would be able to flashback all your rituals, but then all the mana you've got is black, and it doesn't allow you to flashback any of the other spells in your graveyard, except for the Gitaxian Probe, which you can't do because you're at 1 life, and you can also flashback the Infernal Tutor.
It doesn't really work out the way I wanted to. I currently have 2 black, 2 black, 2 red, and...
So you could go up to... again, this is again the situation. You could go up to 6 black, you could Inferno Tutor again, and if you had a main deck tenders, you would win, but you don't have a main deck tenders.
Nope, not really.
Because the deck doesn't need one, because it's more, because the deck has the burning wishes, so you just want to have a higher density of cantrips and mana and rituals and effects like this in your main deck.
Yeah, because I have access to the tendrils if I want to. Just was short mana.
And you even have access to more tendrils this way. But this shows us how close those games are with Storm, because it's just, you know, if you had this one card in your main deck, you would have been able to eke out a win here after you're just being trounced, you're getting wasted multiple times, and then if you just had one card in your main deck that you have in your sideboard only, you would still win. This is pretty. This to me still shows the huge power of the Storm deck in Legacy.
Yeah,
like the intrinsic power.
It was also quite close in the second game. We will see how this.
So what are your sideboard options here?
My sideboard options here are defense grid, of course. I think I brought in 2 defense grid.
So that covers you from the counter spells, right?
Yeah. Yes, I'm not quite sure what I boarded out.
So how many cards can you realistically board with a deck like this? What's like the most cards you can board in any matchup?
I don't really want to board a lot of cards. I would say 3. Okay.
So it's light sideboarding, because also your sideboard is not that big, because your sideboard is part sideboard, part wish board. Because
I already have the wish board, so I do not need to board a lot. And if I need to, I can wish for creature removal, artifact removal, or some other cool card.
This is one of the huge strengths of TES as well compared to ENG, because you have game 1 access to cards like to generic bounce cards, for example, generic bounce spells, generic creature remover, that you don't have access to in ENG.
But actually, I do not have access to bounce spells.
So you're not playing this, like you're not playing Chain of Vapors or what was it called, the other. That's not sorcery, right? No. There is a 1 mana blue sorcery. It's like a horrible card. It got played in TES at some point. It's basically just 1 mana bounce target non-land permanent sorcery speed, I think. 1 blue mana.
I do not know. I'm only playing 3 Echoing Truth. And I'm thinking of getting in the new bounce card.
Perilous Voyage?
Yes.
Because of the added scribe?
Yes, because of the added scribe. Because
so could you just tell our listeners what exactly Perilous Voyage does?
Yeah, it bounces target permanent, and if the converted mana cost of the permanent was, I think, 2 or less.
I think it's 2 or less.
2 or less, you can scry 2.
Which in Legacy are very, very many of the permanents you're interested in bouncing.
Pretty amazing.
Such as Thalia, for example.
Yeah.
Or other problem permanents.
Thalia is for sure a problem permanent. Yes. So, back with the second game. I'm on the play and Peter is on the draw. And, find a good hand, which I did not do in this situation. I had to mulligan. I think I was short on lands, or I had nothing going on in my hand. And it's not good to play or to keep a hand for the long game against the deck, which can finish you off quite quickly.
Especially because the longer the game lasts, the more chances the Delver deck in these matchups has to actually draw the right pieces of disruption for a specific situation they're facing.
So going down on 6 cards, not ideal, but still okay. Peter keeps his 7 and I scrap.
So quick bottom. Do you remember which card you put to the bottom here? I think it was an additional land that you didn't need.
Maybe an additional land, but I'm also not quite sure.
And now we see on leading on Scalding Tarn and passing, and now we'll see what's up because you're getting probed here.
Yeah.
The Grixis Delver deck playing probes, which are very nice with the Young Pyromancers, but even nicer with the Cabal Therapy, giving you a 1-touch. So you have two LEDs here, 1 Rite of Flame, 1 Infernal Tutor, and a second land here. So what's your plan with this hand?
It will go off. Actually, with this hand, I can do quite some stuff, but I decided to wait.
So you have a shit ton of mana.
Yes.
What can you do with the Infernal Tutor then? You have access to 7 mana just with cracking the 2 LEDs and getting 1 of the Rite of Flames. So what can you do from there with a hand like this?
I can, let me think, I can try, for example, to get my Dendrils. For 5, if I have to.
What did you bought in the tenders?
Yes, I bought it in the tenders.
Okay, so you
yes.
You have more than 1 tenders in the sideboard or just one?
No, I have 1 tenders in the sideboard and.
So you just have to decide whether it's better in
yes.
in a specific matchup to have it main or side.
Yes. So I thought it would be better to have it main. I'm not sure if it's right or if it's wrong, but I think the best in this matchup would be to have 1 main and 1 in the sideboard, so I always have access to it if you needed it.
But then you would have to get rid of an additional sideboard slot, so you would have one card less.
Yes. And here you see me just playing lands, not fetching, because
and we have a Delver here.
I'm not interested in getting one of my lands wastelanded, and in a case I draw a Brainstorm, I also want to be able to cast Brainstorm, and afterwards, if I want to shuffle my library.
Yeah, this is not modern. Basically, there's no reason for you in Legacy to crack fetch lands.
No.
It's not like you can crack them. End of turn to save some life. There is you just crack them when you want to cast a spell, because otherwise just an advantage, especially with those Brainstorms. And we see the Delver flip here, and now you're getting clocked, but you already have 3 lands in hand, so this is a better situation than in game 1 by far.
Yeah, the only thing is, it might be better to play 1 lands at Diamond or even both, because Grixis Delver usually plays Cabal Therapy, and I was kind of thinking before, okay, I knew my opponent plays Cabal Therapy, and I just, in this situation, I completely forgot about it, so I'm still keeping on to both lands at Diamond in my hand.
Because of the Storm count, right?
Yes, because of the Storm count, but with access to, like that many mana sources, maybe it would have been better to just simply play it.
Because it's just really risky.
Yeah, I think under the 2 cards there's a second Rite of Flames. And currently I'm just waiting to find some disruptive spell or Gitaxian Probe to check what's going on in his hand.
And at the same time, Peter is just cantripping and cantripping. He's got you on a 6-turn clock with the Delver, and he's just looking for more disruption here, I feel. Because he doesn't need to add to the clock, he just needs to make sure that he's not dying while he's beating you down with his single Delver.
And we see Cabal Therapy.
Yeah, and you're like, ouch. And there
I'm like,
you were looking if you had the
Brainstorm. Yes, I was looking for a Brainstorm. I wanted one of the cards to be a Brainstorm, but I already knew no Brainstorm there. Here we see Gitaxian Probe, Rite of Flames.
And now you're like far behind now, because you basically lose 6 mana with this 1 Cabal Therapy.
Actually, I even forgot to play Gitaxian Probe, digging for a Brainstorm in response, which I really
you can't do this because Gitaxian Probe is a sorcery.
Yeah. Oh no! Yeah. Actually, at one time I'm going to try to play 1 Gitaxian Probe. Yes, here we see.
Oh yeah.
And it's like sorcery, and I'm like, okay. Yeah, well, you see.
So you were still tilted from losing those LEDs, I guess.
I'm not playing with Gitaxian Probe that often. I was not really tilted that, but yeah, kind of, because
Now you're casting your Gitaxian Probe, and now we see what he's working with. With Invasive Surgery, a Delver, a copy of Vendilion Click, a Ponder, and a Pyroblast. So we have a full 3 disruptive spells here, 2 that just cost 1 mana. And especially Invasive Surgery is especially nice because, let's see, it has Delirium. Does he already have access to Delirium right now? We see in his graveyard an instant, a sorcery and a land, so not yet. But if he got another creature type, it's kind of hard to get a creature into the graveyard here because you don't really kill his creatures.
No.
But even without Delirium, just countering a Burning Wish or another sorcery is pretty good for 1 mana.
Yes, and there you see me most likely trying to win this game before I lose the game. And I'm going for basic swamp, because I can. And
you probably drew 1. Did you draw a hand disruption spell here that you're going to cast now?
I think I drew Cabal Therapy, yes.
Okay, so what's the scariest of those cards here, of the interactive cards? Pyroblast, Invasive Surgery, or Vendilion Click?
All of them are annoying. The 1 mana cards are, actually, Vendilion Click will put up the clock.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And you can take any card from your hand, but it gives you a redraw.
Yes, it gives me a retro, but I do currently
I think
have
Pyroblast is clearly the weakest.
I have not enough mana for anything, and yeah, this situation is really bad for me. I really should have played at least one Lancer Diamond, so that I can
actually have mana when you want to go off.
I have the mana, but currently I'm just reading the card, trying to figure something out, doing the math. Yeah, maybe you see me fetching.
At the moment, I just see you sticking your nose into the camera, but yeah.
I've got a quite big nose, so can't do that. And you see me scoop me up because I was short of mana, and
you just see this hand with all disruptions. Like, you're not going to be dead for a few turns, but you're not going to win.
I'm not going to win either. And if I had the Lancer Diamond, I would have had enough mana to go off. I guess.
You still would have needed to somehow play through the invasive surgery?
No, it doesn't.
Because you
I
didn't
just played
you
red spells. He had I would have had Caval Therapy for.
You would have the Caval Therapy.
So I needed just more mana. I'm not quite sure if my math is.
Because then you could have won before he got to use that Vendilion click on this turn.
With a little bit more mana, I could have won on this turn. But yeah, well. Luckily, my only time playing against the Delver list, and yeah, I lost.
Yeah, but this is not a great matchup for you either.
No,
but we saw in game one that sometimes you can still squeak out some wins or get close to doing that.
But not if I make this many playing mistakes. But Legacy is still quite a new field for me. I played it when I was younger in 2006, 2007 or so, or 2005 with Angel Stumpy, I think, in Graz. And yeah, I developed a little bit since then, now playing tests. And yeah, well, hopefully it's the start of a nice journey. And
yeah, it's a really sweet format, so yeah.
Yeah, one of the formats I really enjoy playing, and it's really complex and just classic Magic.
And this is a good thing, because if you play against your new Legacy player, it's pretty great. I think if you get paired against those experienced Legacy players, so nice guys, the Legacy community is really great. And we see Peter here talking to you about plays, and he's helping you with like what could you have done here and there and stuff. So he's not just like, yeah, I'm happy I stopped this guy. He's like actually trying to interact with you. And this is great because the Legacy community, in my experience, not just in Austria but internationally, has the nicest players. Players are not just there to win. They often long-time players who like winning, but they also like having fun.
For sure, we do like. Yeah, thank you for watching, and see you at the next round.
Yeah, see you in the next round.